talent? What is your talent? Is your talent in numbers? Is your talent in persuading people? Is your talent in managing and leading people? You have talent here. How are you utilizing it to help yourselves, to help the dealership, to help your customers? In the vision, a vision of yourself, of your future. How are you going to end your year? What are you gearing up for next year? Hi, I'm Joy Baldridge, and I help the best to become even better. Better at increasing revenue and productivity while decreasing stress and frustration. Take a look.
Her first speaking engagement, the White House, at age 19, and she got there by cold calling the President of the United States. Now, we have the absolute privilege of having what I think is one of the best speakers I've ever heard. Here to help us jumpstart our next 100 years of success, please join me in welcoming Joy Baldridge.
There are 4 core human emotions, and 3 of them rhyme. Mad, glad, sad, and scared. I call them houses. You got the house of mad, the house of glad, the house of sad, and the house of scared. My question to you is, which house do you live in most? And is it time to move? Gotcha, right? And when I asked myself this question a few years ago, I was shocked by the answer. When you ask yourself questions, you get the real answer. Which house am I living in? Mad, glad, sad, or scared? I found myself living in the scared house. And I was raised by optimistic people in the house of glad. How could this happen? Well, I was spending too much money on shoes and things, you know? And it was really upsetting me because it was just going faster than I could handle it. Have you ever had an out-of-money experience? And I know money's not the only thing. That's not the most important thing. Love is the most important thing. Fortunately, I love money. They say money talks, but all mine ever says is goodbye. So I'm in the house of scared, and I decided I was going to make a conscious effort to believe that I could move, and decided I was going to live in the house of glad. Now, Dad said the house of glad was not an easy place to live. I said, why not? He said, because if you're happy all the time, people can't take it. They just want to slap you. Do you know what I mean? They just like, stop, 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 stop. Enough. You're too happy. What's wrong with you? Must be insane. No one's that happy. Oh, yeah, you've got such a great life. It's not easy being a happy person. And so he said it came with a warning that you had to be careful and go in the degrees, like an ogive. Degrees of happiness. Be happy, enjoy your happiness, show your joy, but be careful not to go over the top with it. And so when you live in the house of glad, it takes as much work to live in that house as any house. It takes work. You have to pull the weeds and fix the roof, and things go wrong. It's all about how you handle that. So when you think of stress, think of demands. And when you get too many demands put upon you, you start to get all stressed out. And then you can get burnt out. And then you get sick. Has that ever happened to you? You get burnt out, you get stressed out, then you get sick, and then you run out of sick days. I saw a bumper sticker and it said, ran out of sick days tomorrow, I'm calling in dead. It's just too much. And another one that said, I feel so much better now that I've given up hope. You can't do that. Of course you can't. Churchill said, never, 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 never give up. I'm making your decisions easier because decisions come hard for me. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not quite sure. I got this when I was in the doctor's office getting my eyes examined. So the guy says the drill. You know the drill? Which is better? Which is better, one or two? Two better, one better. Which is better, A or B? And after a while, I started to get confused. So I said, I don't know anymore, I can't take it. And he said, good. And I said, why are you saying good? You know what he said? Because confusion is the step before clarity. I said, Wilson, if you had only listened to me yesterday, and he clenched his fist with rage, and he said, Mom, it will never be yesterday, so why do you keep talking about it? It will never be yesterday. So I thought, that's profound. I better write that one down. So I didn't know because my son is my child, and I thought he's 5. They say cool things at 5. I said to a client that afternoon, I said, tell me if this is just something that I think is cute because he's my son, or if this will help you. And I said, my son said it will never be yesterday, so why do you keep talking about it? She thought a minute and said, Joy, that comment alone would have saved me 10 years of therapy. So it will never be yesterday. You have to think, what are you going to do to further your success for tomorrow? Let go! Move on! It will never be yesterday. So what are you going to do in the next 48 hours to further your success for tomorrow? Do you all have one thing? Yeah!